Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday, Lucy, Kevin, Todd, Mari, Jenny, Chris. Good to see everyone. Freedom Friday, guys. Gino, Jennifer, Maria. All right. All right, guys. It's the 16th day of 2026. Who's moving things forward? Who's having a strong year so far? Let's start this off as we always start things with a few blessings.
We
Who
got a
wants to
lot in
share
the
some?
pipeline, but nothing signed yet. But a lot of things are going in the right direction.
It's what I like to hear, Todd. We talking about attraction? We talking about production? What are we talking about?
Production and attraction. I've got a small mini brokerage I'm working on bringing over, but it's been years, but we're like on the cusp of uh, finishing, and then we got quite a few like just business things, listings and buyers that are like getting ready to lock down. So slowly but surely.
That's right. Love to hear it. I've got a couple of brokers as well, kind of lined up, and all of them have been years in the works. Right? It's just the way it is. It's a conversation that evolves over time until timing's right and action's taken. And the goal, I think, is just to push them to the next meeting, the next introduction, the next event, and eventually it'll happen. So nice work, Todd. Who else has a blessing they want to share?
I have a couple of blessings. I'll share one
Please, Lucy.
just to kind of keep the fire going with consistency. So we closed out 2025 with 25 weeks consecutive, not 25, 45 weeks consecutive of Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp. This year I'm going for 50 weeks. So this Wednesday was a relaunch and everyone was like talking about how much they missed it. But here was my breakthrough. I actually had a broker in the room who is checking out my infrastructure and what I'm doing because this broker wants to talk about me helping them with my infrastructure and what I've put together through Winners Wednesday and my, MMA Monday Masterclass, which is all about productivity and helping them grow. So I said, sure, I'll help you grow and come check it out. And now the conversation is moving towards aligning at EXP with me so that they can really get the full benefits, not just of what I do, but what EXP brings to the table. So funny enough, in December, I had set the intention of connecting with brokerages that are, within a certain, um, let's just say criteria or or number of agents. And so, yeah, I got my first one in the room and gonna continue getting more. So I'm focusing, you know what I want to focus on this year,
What's
Vince? I
that?
want to focus on acquisitions. I want to be that solution to those brokers that are, bleeding heavily because obviously they're going on 2 years of an uphill market. So, this thing with Winners Wednesday has just turned into, consistency definitely is the key.
Consistency, definitely.
And that's what's really made the biggest difference. So I'm going for 50 weeks in 2026.
50 weeks. I wouldn't bet against you. One of the most consistent people I've ever met, and intentional as well, right? So you're pointing at what you want and it's happening.
Yes.
All right. The size
And that's
brokerage.
the word.
And you've
That's
made it so that it's comfortable for them to come and be in the room.
yes. You know, I, and again, I started this out just with pure grit and will, following in the footsteps of my amazing business partners and watching what they do from afar, like you and Gil, and obviously, Carlos and Rebecca, and Josue, Veronica, and just finding my, okay, what is it that I'm gonna do? And And so that has really put me at the forefront, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go one to many. I know I don't have the bandwidth to go one to one like I used to. And then here's what I also realized. I had to come to terms with what is really my highest and best use. And the reason that I want to focus, and I will focus, and I am focusing on acquisitions of, small brokerages, is number one, I've created the framework. Number two, I've proven the results. I mean, I'm getting 8 to 10 different brokerages of agents showing up each week now. And number three, I said, I don't want to be their day-to-day operations leader. I want to be the leader's day-to-day partner. That's my highest and best use. So I opened my mind up to acquisitions and I said, okay, let me focus on this. Let me be the solution to the broker. So I also had a conversation with another broker last week. They said they're going to come, but obviously this is a bigger broker. So, things have to be done differently with them. But yeah, I'm going for 50 weeks. I added on MMA Monday Masterclass, which is money making activity. And that's it. Let's see what
You
happens
know what
this
I
year.
also caught, Lucy? You just said that you want to go instead of, to me, it sounds like B2C, business owner to consumer. When you're going to the direct day-to-day problems. But what you want to do is go B2B and deal with the leaders, who deal with the day-to-day problems, right? The brokers, the team leaders, and you want to speak to those guys, and every single one of those people are growth minded. Okay, so you're
Yes.
going to deal with the growth minded people and, lead the leaders. So you're setting yourself
Yes.
up beautifully, and you've got 50 weeks of that coming in 2026. Man, they're lucky to have you. All of us are lucky to have you.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you for this space. I appreciate you.
Of course. Congrats. Gil, jump in, bud.
I've got a lot to share. I definitely want to talk a little bit about AI, but I'm on a bit of a roll. I've made a commitment to fill my team, right? And I wanted to for those of you guys who may have a team, I was like, I'm going to bring in at least one person a week and bring my team up to 50. Um, the first few weeks, we've been very, very intentional about making sure that we have appointments and just, sending out a bunch of messages out. I've been ghosted 173 times in this first 16 days. So that's 173 ghost. Uh, but
These are set appointments, phone
no,
calls.
no, no. These are just text messages I'm sending out individually, personally. Um, People that I'm going straight at it. I'm going to like, hey, I'm giving an invitation to join my team, right? So 173 people. Either I put ghost in either as a they didn't respond at all, or they just weren't interested immediately, right? Now we just very targeted list of people that we said, they fit the criteria of being a team on my team, right? Um, uh, I've already hired 6 people to the team already. 2 more joining next week. People right now are ready to make a move. They're desperate to have better results. You can go through and look at what's going on in the marketplace and know that. And I've been telling some people, I was like, listen, I know exactly what decision you're about to make right now. This year, it either works or you take a job. I'm going straight to the jugular about what's really happening in the marketplace. And we're having a strong conversation. Now, I invited quite a few people to our award ceremony, which was kind of interesting that they would show up to my award ceremony anyway, because there were different brokerages. But we had, I think, 6 or 7 people on my team have their best year ever, which means, year over year, they improved their score. We had a couple people that were like 2, 3, 400%. So that was also helpful because they were in that room to hearing those messages as well. But I can tell you, with the I want to start off talking about this. I'm going to give you an AI right now that will absolutely get you that result, but it's not going to be the way you want. AI doesn't do the work for you. It will think for you. It will plan for you. It will strategize for you, but you got to be willing to take the rejection still. All we did was craft messages figure out our best way to showcase what we do and start creating campaigns with that. We took a list that we got from Cordit, which I've told you guys many times. You guys can get a list from Cordit from your director of growth. Your director of growth in every state has an account for Cordit. You tell them exactly what you want. So Todd, if you're saying, like for me, for my team specifically, I was like, hey, give me every agent that's within every agent within 10 miles of my office, where my team is located. And I wanted agents that are doing between 2 to 6 transactions, because the message that I crafted with ChatGPT was specifically going to speak to them about being the third. And I went to my ChatGPT, hey, it was worst years in real estate. There's a lot of agents out there that are looking. And I just talked to my ChatGPT. I'm not a typer. I press the advanced voice mode. Craft a message specifically designed for an agent who's only done between 2 and 6, and with everything you know about my team, how we can help them. Now we went through and we changed it a little bit and said, listen, make it shorter, make it straight to the punch, speak in my voice, right? And we created a couple of text messages, a couple of emails that were straight to the point on why to join my team. Now, when you ask somebody to do something on the very first text message, you're going to be ghosted. And we knew that that was going to happen. We knew that a lot of people wouldn't respond because I was asking them to join my team as a solution for their problem. But we wanted to get straight to the point. We didn't want to go through and nurture. I felt like I had already nurtured my market enough. I didn't want to nurture anymore. I wanted to go straight to the point. But from that, we got 16 people to raise their hand. 9 people took action. We've got 6 already that joined the team. I want you to know that people are willing to say yes right now. Yes, in as far as agents, and certainly with buyers. As we all know, buyers wait till the very last moment to move, to make a decision. Now, I've said some of the best deals in the market, right? The window of opportunity was with us. And personally, I feel like it may just have passed with the news that just passed. See, when they say, oh, we had the lowest interest rate in the last 3 years, or the last 5, we have a 5.99%. People are like, oh, the worst is behind us. The moment the consumer believes the worst is behind us, that's when they start to make the move. That's when they feel like, okay, honey, I think it's okay to do this now. That 5.99 for those people who have that 3% interest rate, they're like, oh, well, that's in the game, that's in the realm. We can make that happen. With a buy down, they'll be at 4%. The reality is like we're seeing tremendous of activity. And then I talk to other people and they're like, well, I'm not seeing that activity. And I was like, well, how many fishing poles do you have in the water right now? And I've told you guys this story before. I was a young guy I was fishing, and it was Jones Beach. It was on pier on Jones Beach. And many of you guys may even know Jones Beach, but there was a guy, must have gotten there super cracked in the morning early, but he had like 7 or 8 poles in the water. And he just went around just grabbing a pole. And I was there with my 1 pole and I wasn't catching anything, but obviously he had better skills than me, but he also had 8 freaking lines in the water. Of course he's got a better chance. I'm going to tell you right now, don't miss this window of agent attraction. We've talked about this week after week about the ICU script that still works. That's still grabbing people's attention. The ICU script. I see your brand. I see what you're doing. I admire you from afar. Just want to say, keep crushing it. If you got that text message, I got to tell you right now, even though you may be like, I'm never leaving XP, you're at least going to respond to that text message. It's worked. It's probably the best text I've ever sent. Right? The ICU script. I see you, and I'll recognize something they're doing. Keep crushing it. Hey, I see you branding and you're on TikTok and you're crushing it on TikTok, man. I'm a fan. Keep crushing it. It's always oh man, really appreciate that. I'm a fan of you too. You're also, dude, let's connect, man. Let's have some coffee. You guys know me. I'll have coffee 3, 5 times, 7 times a day, as many times as I can. I just love me some coffee, right? So, but if I can have my coffee in front of a human being and have my number one goal fulfilled, which you guys know my number one goal is when I'm sitting in front of someone, I want to have a reciprocal conversation about their goals. Hey man, what's your big goals this year? What are you trying to accomplish? Let me see if I can help. Let me see if I can introduce you to somebody that I know is incredible at that. If I accomplish that in the meeting due to the law of reciprocity, which I don't control, they're going to intend a desire to try to do the same for me. Maybe they want to help me in my business. Maybe they help me in my investments. I had a meeting recently where I was complimenting them on their TikTok, and they were like, "Oh, you don't know anything. I've got a TikTok store. I got this. I got that." I was like, "Can you teach me how to do that? I will have a TikTok store." Never had one before, but I was like, "Dude, she sells digital products." Guys, the opportunity to learn from someone else right now is incredible to hone in on your skill, but you got to take some action. ChatGPT will design the action. You can go through it and just talk to it today. Who's got no recruits? No one. 0 people in their downline. Nobody? Okay. All right. If you had 0 people in your organization and you talk to ChatGPT, you know, ChatGPT knows your model already. It already knows that we have a residual income. It already knows people in our organizations. It already knows it because it goes through and gives all that information. I could say, hey, listen, if I wanted to design a organization like Brent Gove at eXp Realty, what would be my daily pattern of activity today? Give me 3 super simple, easy things I can do today to guarantee myself by the 31st of this month to sit down with at least 5 recruits and talk to them about the benefits of eXp. And then, if that was the first thing I wrote down, if that was the first thing I did, I would go to my director of growth and I would get that list of your target list of people that you want to target. Those are probably the 2 most important things you have. You have to have a list, you have a target list, and you have to have action to do with that list. I wish I could tell you ChatGPT or there was some kind of humanoid AI robot that could do all the work for you. But it can't assist you in a way you've never been assisted before. You could easily go to it and say, hey, I've got this guy, he works for Douglas Elliman, and I want to create some talking points as to why he might want to join eXp Realty. I got this person who's over at XYZ brand. He's been there for 7 years. Pull up his stats on Zillow, find out everything he's ever sold, and give me some conversation pieces as to why he might want to join eXp. Have your AI research the target. It'll look up all their sales. It'll know there's deficiencies because it's like, oh well, it looks like between this is what one of them told for me. It looks like in February through April, the last 2 years he struggled to do deals. I had a conversation with him. It was Malcolm. I said, Malcolm, hey man, just curious, what happens between February and April for the last 2 years? He goes, dude, we have my wife kind of like has this thing about spring break, and we shut down, and I shut down, and it takes me a hard way to come back. And I was like, that's real, dude. I feel that. I got 6 kids. I understand. But ChatGPT taught me how to be more human in my conversation. I want you to think about it. Your ChatGPT is your way to get 100 people in your organization. I want you to think of it as your director of recruiting. I want you to think about, in fact, many of you guys are probably opening up your ChatGPT right now. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about that agent that you've been wanting to recruit. And I want you to ask ChatGPT, what would be the most effective way to recruit this particular person to eXp Realty? I want you to research him on all his social media, on all his websites or her. I want you to find out his stats. And I want you to compare his company to our company. You can even ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to make a phone call to them. I'm really nervous. Give me an opening script for that conversation. Oh man, I'm giving you guys too much. I'm making this too easy for you guys. You guys are gonna have 1,000 people in your organization if you do this stuff. Tell me the talking points that I would have to connect with him as a human and inspire him to join XP. And ChatGPT does this, as you wish. It's your genie in the bottle. All you got to do is prompt it. Don't rub it. It's kind of creepy. Don't do that. Just prompt it. Get this.
No, I think everything you're saying is spot on. I'm moving a little bit away from ChatGPT and I'm getting a little bit into Gemini.
Oh, when I say ChatGPT, I mean all of them.
Yeah,
I use
I know
Grok.
exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I use Chat.
It-
Yeah, ChatGPT is kind of my Kleenex word for tissue.
yeah.
They
I'm
all work the
probably
same.
not as advanced as you are. I know that you have your team AI certified. You're pushing things forward on the AI front. I'm using some of the features that are already set up in my CRM, right? I'm using Cordit's AI, and just learning into that. I want to leverage their VAs, but it's working fantastic. When you were talking before, what I was thinking is, hey, some of these guys don't have teams, right? What do you do in that situation? I would say align them back into the global alliance. Use that as your team, right? Figure out what you want to plug people into. Is it the Gap Mastermind? How many of you guys were on that Gap Mastermind call when Leo was on? How amazing was that? I think I just saw the video come out the other day. Let's grab that and let's share that and show people what they have access to.
Is anybody using AI right now in their agent traction? Go ahead. Let me hear what you're doing. Good. Art, I know you raised your hand. You didn't know I was going to call on you, but unmute yourself and tell me, how are you using AI?
I haven't been as intentional with some of the prompts that you just gave us, so I love that. But I did ask it to tell me a little bit about. I went to lunch Wednesday with a colleague from a market up north, and I asked it just to give me a little bit because he owns a small boutique brokerage. And so it did give me some background, but I'm a Verizon wireless customer, and so it kind of crapped out on me Wednesday when I was going to meet him. But it went well because we could at least talk a little bit about the some of the tools that it showed me. Him being a smaller brokerage, obviously some of the things that he didn't have or that he would have to pay additionally for that are just part of our tool belt or with EXP and then the resources with Global Alliance. So I didn't do a lot of selling, did a lot of listening, but asked questions around the context of like what is he using. I love the question that you said because I asked him something similar, like how's the last 6 months of the year for him? And just with the competitive nature of where he's at, his business actually went down, and he's a 10-year agent, a wealth of knowledge. So it at least gave me some framework to kind of talk to him around those points, which I knew would get him talking more and me able to kind of listen to where those pain points might come up.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I can't tell you, you go on enough of those appointments, you're going to get the results you want. There was a guy on the call who was on here a few weeks ago. He doesn't show up very often. Ben Berry, who said he was going to like crush it last year, and he said, "I'm going to set up appointments. I'm going to put you on the call." And then I reminded him in December that he hadn't put me on 0 calls, right? So he put me on his first call of the year with a broker, and I'm like, okay, talk to this broker. Guys have been a legend in the marketplace, been around forever. We've got 40 people in his organization, and the conversation have been very similar. Art, hey man, how's business? That's my favorite question to ask people. Like you asked it a little bit better than I do. You asked, how's business in the last 6 months, which was probably a targeted question because it's probably terrible, right? So I like your question better almost. How's business been in the last 6 months? Well, no, I don't know. Tell me. And just start a conversation. By the way, I want to correct something just in case you guys got a bad habit of mine. Uh, my bad habit was maybe I told you guys subliminally that we target agents that maybe not be doing so well could help them. Because I personally love to help people. But what I'm seeing from the people that I'm helping recruit people right now, that more top agents are coming over than I've ever seen before. And here's why. And it might be part of the reason why I left my brokerage as well, sincerely. If you're a top agent right now and everybody around you is sucking wind, you are feeling uncomfortable. You're feeling like no one's there to coach you anymore. when you're feeling like you're the best in your team, in your office and stuff like that, you start getting a feeling like, well, I see we have a lot of training for everybody else, but I'm not developing as a man, as a father, as an investor, as a real estate agent. I'm going to tell you the number one agent in every office right now, the number two agent, number three agent are vulnerable to this market. They're vulnerable. And I've talked to at least three, four number ones, number twos that are like saying the same exact thing. We don't have the right leadership. I'm not really developing. Yeah, I did a lot of business last year, but I don't feel like I'm any closer towards my end goal. More or less, that's what I've been hearing from people. I don't feel like I'm any closer to my end goal. What's your end goal? Retirement, right? However they frame it, everyone's end goal is freedom. We're all working towards freedom. And we feel good when we feel like we're doing things that are bringing us toward our freedom. But when they finish their year and they get their recognition of a trophy or a piece of paper, first off, Todd, every person that's posting their little recognition thing or their awards right now, you should be calling and congratulating, like, dude, man, let's have some coffee. All right, dude, I saw you won your award. Dude, you're crushing it. I see exactly what you're doing. Dude, let's have some lunch. Right? Don't do the I want to pick your brain speech. I've seen a lot of people do that to me. Don't do that one. Dude, you're a freaking stud. I'm proud of you. I want to take you out to lunch. Right? And Todd, because you've got so much stature in the marketplace, you taking them up a person out for lunch, it's a really kind of like attaboy. Every single person you see right now, KW, Coldwell Banker, doing their certificates, doing their little trophies and stuff like that, that should be like, hey man, I see you, you're crushing it. I'd like to take you out for lunch. You got to do it. Those are the people that right now want to make a move because they're stale. Winning can get stale for a lot of people. I felt it. I guarantee you, Vincent felt it. He was freaking number one in the state for years. Winning can get very lonely. Being at a high
feel
level
like top
with other
producers.
people. What's that?
I feel like top producers, once they receive that award, it's like it's very empty,
Yes.
right? They need something, they need a challenge to kind of to push towards. They need to be in bigger rooms.
By the way, Todd, you're gonna love what I just told somebody a couple of weeks ago. They won an award at their company. I was like, you wouldn't have won that at my company. You wouldn't have won that at our company. I was like, here's the deal. You're not going to win as many awards at my company, but you are going to grow. Do you know what our tagline is? Somebody tell me what our tagline is at eXp Realty. Somebody unmute yourself. Tell me your tagline. I'm not going to tell you.
Where the pros go to grow?
There you go.
When I tell people that that's our tagline, it shifts them. It shifts them. Because it immediately identifies that if you think you're a pro, then where should you go? I love telling people that. Dude, make it sure that in your agent attraction that you are targeting the number one or number two agent at every brokerage office, every one of them. Dude, just want to say, man, congratulations. That's pretty awesome. What did you have to do that? Oh man, that wouldn't do much at our brokerage. I was like, you'd be fighting. I was like, we got some competitors, we got some crushers. I was like, but I'm really excited for you, man. Congratulations. I don't want to take anything away from you. Dude, what's your plan to grow this year? What masterminds you going to? I do like asking people that all the time too. Like, what masterminds you going to? I'm going to 3. You guys know which one I'm going to? I'm going to Cabo Mastermind. I'm going to learn about optimize my body, optimize my business, and be around freaking winners. Right? I always tell people when I talk about Cabo, say I go to 1 of 3 events. I'm going to Cabo, where the top 1% of brokers and agents in the country are going to, in every state. It's an amazing mastermind. I've been to it every single year. It's freaking ridiculous. It's a 5-star resort in Cabo, Mexico. I'm going to be on the the Global Alliance cruise in July, and I'm going to go to Utah for the EXPCon. I tell everybody where are you going this year? Where are you going to grow? And I'm probably going to be doing business mastermind in August with Tony Robbins. I went to it several years ago, and it was awesome, and I've never been back. And that was pre-pandemic that I went, so I can't wait to see what he's got to talk about in our market today. I'm sure it's gonna be very AI dominant. Um, the last time I went, he had that guy Peter Diamandis, if I'm saying his name right. He's like the founder of the X thing where they challenge people to create a rocket to go into space. And at that time, he was talking about AI and robotics and things of that nature, and how we were so close to curing all these diseases. And I heard just a couple of days to get off topic a little bit, but in Germany they claim to have cured diabetes, and I was like, I haven't heard that claim here. My brother has diabetes. I'm like, oh sure shit, that they're claim it's like a big deal over there. AI is going to fix everything. That's my opinion. AI is going to fix everything. There will be no diseases. There will be no challenges except the challenges we put in our own head. And there will be absolute abundance. But there will only be that for those who take advantage of this AI. And you get it for $20 a month. I don't know if Gemini charges. I don't know what Gemini charges, but that's what
I'm not paying for it
ChatGPT.
at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
so
paying for ChatGPT, but
I pay for ChatGPT $20 because I use the voice mode allowed, and if you don't pay for it, you only get like a few minutes a day. And I was tired of bumping into like you've expired your minutes, right? So I felt like I was on Sprint PCS with running out of minutes again. So I was like, nah, no, I'm gonna pay for it. $20 a month, best investment I've ever made in my life, right? I even told my wife, I was like, it was a better investment than you. I was like, you got to step up. ChatGPT gives me everything. Anyway, um, guys, man, it's an incredible. It's an incredible time of the year, incredible time in our lives. Take advantage of it. These opportunities. By the way, I told you guys somewhere in the call that we probably hit the bottom of the market already. We don't actually announce as an industry the bottom of the market till 6 or 8 months after it happens. I truly believe when those rates hit for the first time, 5.99%, that was it. That was the psychological barrier that allows everybody to push forward. What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks? And I know this is agent attraction, but this is the stuff that when you talk to other agents will help you become a better agent attractor. Why you're positive about the marketplace, right? Let me tell you why I'm positive about the marketplace. In a couple of weeks, just two, the rates will continue to go down, and a bunch of you guys or a bunch of people in America will have a big fat what in their hand? What will they have in their hand?
Their tax
That they'll be
returns.
waiting to spend. Tax
Yeah.
returns. I built the whole car business around tax returns. Like I would stock up because I sold a lot of older cars, right? So cars that people could buy with one tax refund check, right? They're going to want to spend that money. I hope that they spend it on listing and build their wealth. I hope they take advantage of the lowest rate we've had in the last 3 years. I hope they take advantage of all these programs that are out there to help them have affordability. There's so many freaking down. I've never seen in a long time. I mean, I remember back after the crash, there was a ton of freaking programs for people to buy and have down payment assistance like that. But there's a ton right now. Just look it up. Problem people tell me is like, I don't see a lot of them because you're not looking. You see whatever you have programmed your eyes to see. That's that whole Tony Robbins reticular activating syndrome or system, I think you call it. Don't put in the back of your head. Whatever you want to see brown, look around for brown. You're going to miss all the blue. Have your mind on the opportunity. Understand that the market's making its move for those people who are going to move with it. Some people will grab their unfair share. I get people in my organization right now. We're going to do 100 listings this year. And I know that because they've already taken 10 this month in the 16th day of the month. I was like, you take on that, you're gonna break a record. You're walking on stages. Break a record for your agent attraction. Have your best month in these final 15 days we've got left this month. Don't let this go by. Don't let this just go by. Don't let calendar days go. Take advantage of it. If nothing more, we're ending at 9:45 for a purpose to give you some time to work on what's your next activity. Hopefully, you guys are already doing it. Hopefully, you've already identified your target agent. You've got your script for it, and you're sending them a text message right now. You're jumping ahead of the gun, right? You don't need to wait to 9:45 to start. Go ahead and start. Use your AI. Find your target agent. Find out how good their business is. Find out what is the strategy to get that conversation going, and get going. Get after it. Winners. I've always felt like this. I've told winners don't cheat, but winners don't wait for the bell to ring. Winners don't wait for that gun to clock to start running. They mentally prepared to run long before the race. They've seen the race in their head. And they just got their body already in motion, in their mind, and twitching, ready to go. When that thing goes off, they jump faster. Because they've already had it in their head programmed. They're going, they're running. Dude, the gun shut off on the 16 days ago. Are you walking into the race? You running? Maybe you're slow pacing yourself. Maybe you're like, oh, it's a long race. I'm going to slow pace it. No. Run, get out of gas, take a break, and run again. Run as long as you can for this first 16 days. Just run. I feel like I'm hearing, who's that guy? TD Jakes. If you want to write something down, go to TD Jakes run speech. Put that on while you're running. Put that on while you're working out. Put that on while you're in the next 15 minutes. You just can't help but be inspired. If you've never heard TD Jakes, it'll be a little bit of a loop for you. He talks different. 9:40. Anybody else want to add in before we head out?
I like the idea of making this your best month ever. Even though it's already the 16th, we still have 15 days, but approach it with intention. Why not? All the seeds that you planted before, reach out to them. Right? We're constantly going out and chasing these new leads. And we forget to nurture the other people that we've been talking to for years. So go after those guys, let them know, find out what they're up to, what's changed since the last time we spoke. Ask some good questions and just be curious.
One more thing I'll tell you. Cordit actually is a system tool that I use that does have AI. I don't openly talk about it because it's like $250 a month, but you can get a free access through your director of growth. You're gonna like this use of AI. All I did was, for every person that I'm coaching or for someone who's on my team, I just pulled their lifetime closings. And with that, we challenged them to add their birthdays and add their phone number, email to the list, because I don't have access to that. And we created some campaigns from ChatGPT to talk to their sphere, to talk to their people that they've already closed, and we created just a few touch points. The touch point of their anniversary of their closing date, which you can get from Cordit. You'll know exactly when they close, so that they'll get an email every year that goes up. Not sure if you know this, but it's been 7 years since we celebrated your new keys to your home. What's new? Holy mackerel, Vincent. The responses we've gotten from people's fears just with the campaign email of their anniversary date, it's been awesome. We've also had some agents who said, "Hey, I'm going to invest in this campaign," and they said, "I'm going to give $100 thumbtack per year." right? To some of my preferred close clients that send me referrals. Thumbtack is a nationwide service, kind of like a advanced Angie list, right? So it allows you to hire a plumber or somebody. Hey, if you're thinking about like hanging a new fan or putting a toilet or something like that in like that, here's a $100 gift card with Thumbtack. They'll put your TV up. I've used them many times. They'll build your IKEA. It's cool as crap. Like you take 10 clients who are your VIP clients and you send them that, you spend $1,000 in marketing. Um, it's going to get their attention. I don't say you do that for everybody, but it's a pretty cool thing. You can just send, hey, here's a link to this Thumbtack. I've used them. They're awesome. But you do need to be talking to your clients every year on their anniversary. I've always taught my agents to, every time you're at closing, if there's one thing you can do is take a photo of the client and yourself, just a little selfie, add that to your Gmail calendar, and have it repeat every year so you see that in that picture pop up. And you just send them that picture. Hey, I was thinking about you today. It's a special day. Do you remember? How's things going? You see, the reason why winners and pros win is they do that little bit extra that most people aren't willing to do. Just all you got to do is to be that is just copy. Just do as we do. Do as I copy others, by the way. I don't come up with everything I tell you guys. I copy winners all the time. I got an A plus in kindergarten. They actually didn't give out A pluses in kindergarten. It was like either satisfactory or unsatisfactory. But in my mind, I learned how to copy paste like the best of them. Copy it. Go out there and take advantage of this time that we've got. Today is Freedom Friday. The actions you do today will echo throughout the rest of this year. These last 15 days, own them. Own every minute of them. Be absolutely phenomenal. And then keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until you win the race. That's it, guys.